Hi everyone, I'm Chris LaFont, and this is Movie Time with Chris, the channel devoted specifically to movies, movie trailer reactions, movie reviews, movie birthdays, with a few other special videos along the way. Now, hey, if that sounds like something that you're into, if you love to watch the trailer reactions, if you want the movie reviews before you check it out at the theater, or hey, if you just love movies, subscribe to this channel. You're going to get all of that great content that you love and then some. Today, we're doing one of those special videos along the way. This video was actually requested. I got the email from one of my subscribers, Lindsay Hackett, and it was probably one of the toughest lists that I've ever had to come up with. Today we're going to be talking about my top 10 favorite comedies. I know there are so many comedies that I love that probably didn't even make it on my list, which is a very long list here. Um, but I mean, one of them just popped in my head now. But hey, she wants the top 10. I'm going to give the top 10. But there was so many on there that there's a few that are definitely right up there, top comedies for me that I feel should still be mentioned. So it's kind of like a Watch Mojo where they have their honorable mentions. Well, here are a few of my honorable mentions for this list of comedies. The one that just popped in my head, which I can't believe it didn't even make it on my list. Um, Fatal Instinct. The movie is so funny, a spoof of Basic Instinct and Fatal Attraction. The lines in this movie are just so stupid. The concept is ridiculous. The whole thing is so funny. Oh, they also spoof Sleeping with the Enemy, and I can't even think of what else, but it's just a great movie. So funny, and I'm going to be mentioning it, I know, in another video that I have to do, so we'll touch on it some more then. Um, Other honorable mentions, we have National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. In my opinion, the greatest National Lampoon's movie there is. Well, okay, not really. The greatest with the Griswolds that there is. This movie, it gets you in the holiday spirit and makes you laugh out loud. Cousin Eddie is just unbelievable. Randy Quaid, you are great as Cousin Eddie. And oh my God, just to see everything that they go through, everything that can go wrong. It's just their stupidity that makes it funny. I love it. I love watching it during holiday time. His rant at the end when he's just going off talking about his boss, and I love it. Love that movie. Another honorable mention, we have 40-Year-Old Virgin. This was a movie that I used to watch all the time. I mean, great cast, such a great cast that they basically just kept using that same cast in so many movies after. And I mean, Steve Carell is great, very funny, and the supporting cast, Seth Rogen is hilarious. I love Seth Rogen. And Paul Rudd, don't even have to say anything. Um, Bachelor Party. Oh my God, classic. You know, Tom Hanks and gonna get married, and his buddies are there, and they're throwing him a bachelor party, and there's not supposed to be any girls, and they end up getting hookers, and everyone comes to the party, and the donkey does drugs and dies, and it's just unbelievable the things that happen in this movie. It's so funny. I love it. Tom Hanks is just he's the greatest. He really is. There's nothing he can't do, and he's so funny in everything. But okay, moving on, moving on. Honorable mention: You Don't Mess with the Zohan. This movie, the whole the concept of it, the overall message is a great message. To stop the fighting in the Middle East between the Palestinians and the Israelis, and just, we're all people. Come together. But they do it, and they make it so funny. His feet uppercut, and all he wants to do is cut hair, and just, and he has his usual people in the movie. Adam Sandler always has the same group of guys with him, and it's a great movie. What else? What else? What else? Princess Bride. I mean, another classic, and very quotable, very funny, inconceivable. And I even used part of it in one of the beginning of my videos. The whole, hello, my name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. I mean, if you haven't seen this movie, you need to. You need to go watch Princess Bride. You're going to laugh. You're going to cry. Watch the movie. And Friday, another honorable mention. Friday was just... I mean, I can quote that movie beginning to end right now. It's so funny. Ice Cube does great, coming off of things like Boys in the Hood, where it's a very serious movie, to come to this comedy but still be in that kind of area. And Chris Tucker, I mean, come on. Smokey and Debo. The movie made the line "Ba Felicia" famous. Everyone uses that now. But Lindsay asked for top 10. So here are my top 10 comedies that I could think of. Like I said, those were just some honorable mentions. The list is so much longer than that. But if I had to narrow it down to 10, these are them. There is no rhyme or reason to these, with the exception of number 1. I will tell you what my number 1 comedy is of all time. But let's go ahead and talk about these movies. We have Animal House. That's why I had to retract what I said earlier about National Lampoon's, because this is National Lampoon's Animal House. Great cast. So funny. Belushi is hilarious in this movie. Oh my God. The food fight scene, the whole scene with him in the cafeteria, eating that whole burger, just everything, the Jell-O. I just ate a Jell-O cup the same way he ate it in that movie. I love it. The movie is great. Toga party. I mean, that was my thing for a while. Toga! Toga! It's a great movie. It's a great, great, great college movie. Have to see it. It's a classic. Love it. Wet Hot American Summer. Now, when I talked about 40-Year-Old Virgin, a lot of that cast, Elizabeth Banks and Paul Rudd, they started in this movie. Wet Hot American Summer brought a lot of people out. Amy Poehler. This was Bradley Cooper's first movie. He actually missed his graduation to be in this movie. This movie is a cult classic. I don't think it did really anything in the theater. I don't even remember it in the theater. But this movie had such a following that, however many years later, Netflix decided to do a show, a mini-series type of thing of the first day of camp, because the whole movie is based on the last day of camp. And this movie, unbelievable. Last day of a Jewish camp, and so many stars that are starting out. It's so funny. And I mean, Bradley Cooper said that the kiss in this movie was his favorite kiss of all time, like on screen. This was his favorite kiss that he did. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. You know the catch to that. If you haven't seen it, watch it, you'll understand. But oh my God, I'm so happy that this movie was introduced to me and I saw it. I loved it, went out and bought it. And if I ever need a good laugh, this is it. All right, we have Zach and Miri Make a Porno. Now, I remember when this was coming out in theaters, the poster was just a drawing of stick figures and a camera, and it said like Seth Rogen and Elizabeth Banks are making a movie so whatever that they couldn't show it, they just had to draw the figures. This movie, oh my God. Oh my God. And the lines that are in it are very quotable. They're catchy. The scene when they're in the coffee shop working, him and Craig Robinson. Seth Rogen and Craig are there, and the guy comes in and he's like, he goes up to Craig and he's like, "Can I get a cup of coffee? Black?" And Craig, without missing a beat, "Can't you see we talking? White?" The movie is just great. It is nonstop funny lines like that throughout. And yes, they are making a porno in the movie. So it is an adult movie, not like rated X, or it should probably be NC-17, but it's rated R. It's funny. You I'm just gonna say, watch the movie. Is good. This is the end. You know, I didn't go check this movie out when it was in the theater. Even though I was working at the theater at the time, but it's a movie that my girlfriend really enjoyed, and she ended up getting it on Vudu. And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll sit down and watch it. And this movie is just unbelievable. It's got these casts of people that are playing themselves. It's not Seth Rogen it's Seth Rogen, James Franco, Danny McBride, you know. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. Jonah Hill, Jay Baruchel, Craig Robinson. Emma Watson's in it. Channing Tatum's in it. Paul Rudd's in it. Rihanna, Michael Cera. Just everyone is in this. Kevin Hart. I can't name everyone. I can't. But the whole thing is just the world's coming to an end, and it's these group of guys that are friends, and they're stuck in this house, and slowly things start to come out about each one of them, and it's hilarious. It's funny. There are some lines in the movie that make me crack up every time I watch it. It's the kind of thing that just never gets old. And that's why I love this one. That's why it's on my list, top 10. Excuse me. The Birdcage. Now, here's a movie that I saw a few times, found it rather funny, and lately have been watching it more and more. And I mean, it's got its funny scenes throughout, the movie. But to me, the whole movie is the dinner sequence when the girl's parents show up to the house and they're about to have dinner, and that is the movie. The lines that are used, the comedy, I mean, it is just, it's so funny. It is so funny. Giving this video right now, I can just imagine people that are going to watch this. My sister Cassandra is going to watch this video, hear me talk about Birdcage, and just start laughing, saying yes, because she's going to understand the funny craziness that happens in that dinner scene. That's the movie. It's so funny. I watched it 2 or 3 days ago, laying right there, cracking up hysterically. Great movie. All right. Airplane. This is a classic. I mean, he's got a drinking problem, and it's not alcohol. It's just he has a literal drinking problem. He goes to drink and just splashes it on himself. you know, the automatic pilot, oh my God, just Leslie Nielsen in the movie, Shirley, you can't be serious. I am serious. And don't call me Shirley. To deliver that line without skipping a beat, with a straight face. Oh my God. The guy at the tower who's doing every drug known to man, and the other one that's just crazy. I want you to tell me everything that's happened up to this point. Well, first the earth cooled, and then the dinosaurs came, but they got too big and fat, so they all turned to oil, and then the Arabs came, and they brought Mercedes Benzes, and Prince Charles started wearing I mean, it's just... It's a classic. It is such a good movie. It's the kind of, I don't own it. I wish I owned it, because just talking about it makes me want to watch it. It's just, oh my God. Oh my God. But it's not number one. Not number one. We're getting there. We're getting there. We've got 2 more to go. 3 more to go. Sorry. So far in my top 10, we've done 7. We talked about Animal House. We talked about, 4 more to go. I'm sorry. We talked about Animal House. We talked about Wet Hot American Summer, Zack and Miri, This Is the End, Birdcage, Airplane. So we have The Hangover. Now, if you've seen my videos, you know I never saw Hangover 3. I saw Hangover 2 once in the theater, and that was enough for me, because basically they were trying to do Hangover again. And I felt that the third one was just going to be them trying to do the movie again. Hangover is great. I saw it in the theater, kind of knowing what I was going into, but blew my mind. I mean, this group of guys really, really did so good that's why they made a Hangover 2 and a Hangover 3. Made names bigger than they already were. I mean, them trying to work things off with the cops, and they got to get tased, and he's missing a tooth. The whole thing when they wake up in the room and there's a tiger in the bathroom, and Mike Tyson knocks the guy out. It's just, they got the baby and Carlos, and I mean, it's good. It's funny. But we got to move on. We've already been going for a while. Okay, so let's go. We have Tropic Thunder. I mean, this movie, Ben Stiller, Jack Black, they're funny. I mean, Ben Stiller with his movies, Jack Black with his stuff. These are funny, funny guys. You got Danny McBride in the movie, but to see Robert Downey Jr. as an African American in this movie. I mean, if you don't know that that's Robert Downey Jr., if you just walk by and someone's watching it and you glance, you wouldn't know that that's him. But this movie is just unbelievable. The things that they did in this movie, I mean, I again, this is one that I was just watching recently, and I was sitting here and I was telling my girlfriend that when I saw it in the theater, I had no idea that that was Tom Cruise in the movie with all the prosthetic hands and everything. I had no idea that that was Tom Cruise. Looking at it now, I'm like, how could I miss that? But Matthew McConaughey, just Nick Nolte. This movie was great. I remember a lot of people objected to it because of the whole scene and them using the word retard. I remember I saw it in the theater, walked out of the theater, and the news crew was there and they interviewed me about the fact that people were boycotting this movie because they used the word retard. They did it to get a laugh. There's a lot of things that are done in movies to get a laugh. They may not be politically correct, but they're funny. That's just human nature. This movie is just funny, including the scene where they use the retard word. But hey, we got 2 more to go. Let's try to wrap this up. We have Coming to America. I don't even have to say anything. Coming to America. That's it. It should be on everyone's list. This is such a great movie. You know, Prince of Zamunda coming to Queens to find a queen, and Eddie Murphy, Arsenio Hall, they play so many parts in the movie, and it's just great to watch. The soul glow with the hair, with the jerry curl that's greasy, and Samuel L. Jackson comes out in the movie. Most people might have forgot that. He's the guy who's robbing the McDowells. Just the fact that it's McDowell's instead of McDonald's, you know, they got the Big Mac, he's got the Big Mick, you know. The church scene where they go to find the girls, and the sexual chocolate, you know, and you know, when I look at these contestants for the Miss Black Awareness pageant, I feel good because I know there's a God somewhere. There's a God somewhere. I mean, it's just great to watch. It really is. Even when they're in the club and they're trying to get a date, you know. I was Joan of Arc in my former life, and my name is Peaches, and I'm the best. All the DJs want to feel my breast. It's just, I mean, come on. The movie is just great. They do such a great job with it. So many things. The fact that they're coming from Africa, they have no idea what's going on with our culture, and to them it's just funny, you know. They got the room with the one window facing a brick wall with the chalk outline of the guy and his cane and the dog, and hilarious movie. Definitely deserves to be in a top list of comedies. It's number 2 on my list. But the number 1 comedy for me that I've ever seen is Grown Ups. Grown Ups came out and I was working at the theater. At the time I was I was a manager at the theater, and we were still 35 millimeter film. So the films came in, we had to actually, as a projectionist, as a manager, we had to learn projection. You have to build the film. You know, the film comes as, you know, 2.5 hour film. It comes in 4, 5, 6 different reels of film. Well, this has to be put together in one big reel, so you got to build the print. And I remember we got a few copies of it. We were building them. It was myself, this kid Vince, and one of the other managers, Roberto. We built our prints. We set them up, and once you build it, you have to watch it to make sure that you didn't make any mistakes. Sometimes you build a print upside down, a reel would be upside down or backwards or anything, so you have to screen it to make sure it's okay. So we all went, we screened the movie, and I remember we all started them at basically the same time, and we were going to meet in the lobby afterwards. And I remember coming out of my film, my screening, and walking to the lobby, still laughing hysterically, and meeting Vince and Roberto in the lobby, and they were laughing hysterically. The movie was that funny. It was funny beginning to end. We were laughing nonstop throughout it. And each of us in our own respective theaters were laughing because we talked about it after. The movie is so funny, beginning to end. I love watching it. I watch it all the time. I watch it probably multiple times a month. It's just that good of a movie. And the thing I think that makes it so great is that so much of it seems so genuine. They're laughing, their jokes, everything. It just seems like they're not acting, like they're really just having a good time. And I mean, like I said, Adam Sandler uses a lot of the same people in his films. So these are all people that have worked together on many films. So they are friends. And to me, greatest comedy ever, Grown Ups. But hey, this was a really long list. It had my top 10. I ended up throwing in 7 honorable mentions. So this was a top 17 list. But hey, let me know what you think about these movies in the comment section below. Which comedies do you like? What are your favorite comedies? Let me know in the comment section below. As always, you can find me on Instagram, Movie Time with Chris. You're going to see all the little pictures and snippets of things I've already uploaded, things I'm working on, things I'm going to be uploading. And hey, check that out. Check out the Instagram. If you like what you see, come back to the channel and subscribe, because you're going to get all of that content and then some. And I say and then some because, as I like to say, I'm here for you. If there's ever a question that you have, a topic you want to hear about, a video you want to see, like this one, send me an email, movietimewithchris@gmail.com. I'm going to check that email multiple times a day. I will not miss your message, and I can guarantee that your question, the topic you want to hear about, the video you want to see, will definitely appear on a future video on this channel. And this video right here is proof of that. But hey, if you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up, share the video with your friends, please subscribe. And until next time, take care.